Hi, I'm Linda from Barlates Body Blitz. Welcome to my quick coffee talk update. You'll notice there's no Minnie in the picture today, and that is because I'm going to introduce Yoda to you a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that. A lot of you have been asking me, where's Yoda? I want to see him in the videos. For you who don't know about Yoda, he's my second fur baby. So Minnie has been my OG original fur baby for 13 years now, and Yoda is only 2, so we got him a little bit under 2 years ago. And he's beautiful and wonderful, but unfortunately those two don't love each other. So they're not terrible, you know, they can actually be in the same space, they can even sleep on the same bed, but they're not the sort of cats that will cuddle up and groom each other like we would have hoped. So because filming and the studio has always been mine and Minnie's thing, I have been very reluctant to bring Yoda in here because I don't want to make her jealous, I don't want him to encroach on her territory. He stays out of the studio. It's like they've got this unwritten rule that this is her domain. So I don't really want to upset that balance at the moment. They are still becoming more and more comfortable with each other. And I am hoping that one day they will get to the point where they can actually touch and cuddle, because that's ideally what we would have wanted. But at the moment, Minnie unfortunately is not that way inclined. Yoda would definitely do it, but Minnie is a little bit standoffish, to say the least. But it has gotten so much better. She used to hiss and growl at him every single day, and now it very rarely happens. So she is a good girl. So yes, stay tuned, Yoda coming up. Maybe in the future he'll be in a video, maybe when Minnie doesn't feel like coming in the studio. But he's also very boisterous, and he probably will not want to sit still. And because he's not used to being in here while I'm filming, he's not going to pose like Minnie does. And he probably will just walk around and start disrupting things in the background and make me very anxious. So I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. Apart from that, how are you liking the 1,000 rep challenge? They are doable workouts. I have mentioned that a few times, that I've really tried to make them doable. I know that some of them are not as tough as my previous workouts that may have been really torturous. But as I say in the beginning of the video, if you want to make it extra challenging, please put on some ankle weights, put on a resistance loop. I wanted this to be more an intermediate advanced workout so more of you can try it. So if you haven't tried my 1,000 rep challenge, don't be deterred by the name 1,000 reps, because it's not 1,000 reps of the same exercise. I break it up. I usually do 500 reps on each leg or each side or each arm. So there's actually only 10 exercises with 50 reps each that's kind of repeated on both sides. So it's not as daunting as you may think. You can definitely attempt it. Definitely try it, especially if you're kind of an intermediate exerciser. You can just do a few less reps. You can modify. I try to cue you some modifications throughout. So it's something that I try to introduce my new workouts in a way that more people can do them. So give it a shot. And let me know what you liked about it. Let me know maybe some favorite exercises. Let me know which other 1,000 rep challenge workouts you would like to see coming up. For those of you who have been following me for a while, so over 2 years, you would have seen that half of my workouts are free on YouTube, and the other half I used to sell as downloads and DVDs. And I used to just post a short clip on YouTube so you can see the content. Now I'm going to go back to doing that, and along with all of the ways that I used to sell them in the past, and all the links are in the description below, I also am going to take advantage of the new YouTube members only section, which basically is a monthly fee, and then you can access all of my workouts that are non-YouTube, or they are still on YouTube, but they are not free on YouTube. So exclusive content. I think this will make it very easy because it's all on YouTube, but as I used to in the past, I will also be selling them from my website, on eBay, on Amazon. So definitely check out all the links below, and then you can see where they are available. I haven't started putting out the new content yet, the exclusive content yet, but I've started filming it. The first one is going to be a mobility series, which will definitely still have a challenging factor to it, but I've really been focusing a lot on joint mobility, on balancing the body, on trying to make sure that I'm not doing anything that's just purely for looks, purely for trying to get a certain fitness level or strength level or shape, so aesthetics. I also want to focus on making sure that all my workouts are really good for the body. So if you get the results that you're after, that's amazing. And there's obviously still will be many challenging workouts coming up. But what I also want to focus on is making sure that everything is done with the form that is required to make sure there's no injuries and build balance and mobility in the body. Okay, so the first series is going to be called the Mobility Series, and I've already filmed a mobility sculpt with a resistance band, and that will be available coming up soon as downloads, DVDs, and on streaming and the YouTube members site. So that was like a mouthful of information. Many of you might never utilize those workouts, but I just thought I'd put it out there. Now lastly, well actually not lastly, second lastly, some people have commented on the music. So I did mention in my last coffee talk that I would be adding some better music to my videos, because in the past I've had many comments that the music's a little bit lame, that it's a little bit quiet. So I decided to get some funky music from Epidemic Sound, like a lot of other instructors use as well. But I know that I am an instructor that gives a lot of form pointers throughout the workout. So perhaps it's too annoying to have music with vocals. And I'm just asking your opinion. The last couple of workouts, the 1,000 rep challenge workouts, the first one, the pretzel one, I think the music was just a bit too loud, and it definitely did interfere with my instruction. So the second one, you would have probably noticed that I toned it down a bit. So I'm hoping that that is a good volume level. If you haven't done the 1,000 rep challenge, when you do, please leave me some comments. Let me know, did you like the music? Did you think it was too annoying? Did you find that you couldn't hear me clearly? All of those things, because I'm still working it out and I need your feedback. I am thinking of maybe just doing instrumental, so without vocals, but still having really cool upbeat music. So that is also an option. Let me know what you think. And lastly, I don't know if you've noticed, if you read any of the descriptions of my videos, but I have added a link for you to buy me a coffee. So I didn't even know about this whole thing, that this was a whole phenomena that people are using now. But my dad actually told me that a lot of YouTubers have links where you can basically buy them a coffee or put a donation in of a, however much you want. So I thought, okay, well, I've never really done anything like that before, but why not? Why not put it in there? Because I think YouTube used to have this donate button, and some people used to send me donations that way, but they removed that. So now there's independent ways of doing that. So at the top of any description in my video, you will see the link to buy me a coffee. If you like my content and you want to support me in some way, then please do so. I would really appreciate it. Now, for the moment that everyone has been waiting for, well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of cat people have been waiting for, I'm gonna go and get Yodi, baby Yoda. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is baby Yoda. He is a big boy. I don't know if you can tell, my darling. I don't know if you can tell, but he is big. He is heavy, probably about 7 kilos. And he's such a good boy. He gets prickles. I don't know if you know what prickles are. He gets these seed pods that have spikes on them caught in his fur, and then he gets dreadlocks around them, and we're constantly having to cut them off. But he is such a beautiful, placid boy, and apart from when he attacks Minnie and jumps on her. But yeah, he's just wonderful. We got him from a cat rescue. He was a tiny little baby. He had massive ears. His ears basically haven't grown, but his body and head have grown. So we called him Yoda because he had massive ears, and now he's kind of grown into his ears. And it's kind of like, why is he called Yoda? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, he's so cute. He has many pet names too. He loves rubs under the chin, as you can see. And you can pretty much, he's the sort of cat, you can pretty much do anything with him. You can pick him up whenever, he doesn't complain, whereas Minnie is a little drama queen, and if you pat her too long or if you pick her up at the wrong time, she definitely lets you know. He is not vocal, hardly. He chirps. He has this really cute little chirp, and he'll come in the house and kind of announce that he's here, but he's definitely not vocal like Minnie, who kind of meows at everything. He loves his food. Oh my goodness, he's the sort of cat that'll eat most things, but he has learned recently to be a bit more fussy, because Minnie is the queen of fussy, and she will only eat premium human food. Don't even try to give her cat food. And so he has learned from her that the good stuff, you've just got to wait a while, and if you don't eat the stuff you don't really want, eventually mummy will give you the good stuff. So he had some freshly caught fish the other day, which he absolutely loved. What else can I tell you about him? He started flicking his tail, so I think he's gonna want to go soon. That's his way of saying, I don't want any more, mummy. I want to go back to what I was doing, which is nothing, just sleeping. He sleeps on his back with his belly fully exposed, with all his paws in the air like a kangaroo. He keeps himself really clean, surprisingly, because he never used to groom himself really well. But now his fur is actually beautiful and white, and he's such a good, clever boy for keeping himself so clean, aren't you, darling? I think that's all I can really tell you about Yoda right now off the top of my head. But if you have any questions, leave me comments below and I will definitely answer them. I'm going to take him back to his little sleeping spot. So bye for now from Yoda and I. Thanks for listening. See you soon.